How about that?
Personally, I would never use a transporter.
Transporter. Transporter.
Personally, I would never use a transporter. Personally, I would never use a transporter because the original Sheldon would have to be disintegrated in order to create a new Sheldon.
Disintegrate. Disintegrate.
Have to be disintegrated in order to create a new Sheldon. So you see it too.
Dr. Hofstadter, Dr. Cooper, Dr. Gablehauser.
Gable. Gable.
Dr. Gablehauser. Well,
So do you. Except for your tendency to end sentences with prepositions.
Preposition. Preposition.
Tendency to end sentences with prepositions.
not heavy ones.
It's startling to me you haven't considered a Lorentz invariant or field theory approach.
Invariant. Invariant.
Consider the Lorentz invariant or field theory approach. You were the youngest person ever to win it.
It's like looking into an obnoxious.
Obnoxious. Obnoxious.
It's like looking into an obnoxious.
Yes, but I assumed I would have been dead hundreds of years, and that there'd be an asterisk by his name because he'd be a cyborg.
Asterisk. Asterisk.
Be an asterisk by his name because he'd be a cyborg.
What are you gonna do, Sheldon? Just give up?
Yes. That's what a rational person does when his entire life's work is invalidated.
Invalidate. Invalidate.
Does when his entire life's work is invalidated. That's what a rational person does when his entire life's work is invalidated by a post-pubescent Asian wunderkind.
Pubescent. Pubescent.
By a post-pubescent Asian wunderkind. By a post-pubescent Asian wunderkind. He ceases his fruitless efforts.
Fruitless. Fruitless.
He ceases his fruitless efforts. My career is not over.
Great.
But since the arrival of Dennis Kim has rendered my research pointless.
Pointless. Pointless.
Kim has rendered my research pointless. So what exactly is it you do? I know you chatter on about it all the time.
Chatter. Chatter.
I know you chatter on about it all the time.
Radiation at sea level, but I really don't need any help.
Oh, sure you do. Now see, what's this here in the schematic?
Schematic. Schematic.
Now see, what's this here in the schematic? Right?
Yes.
No, What happens if you use argon lasers?
Argon. Argon.
What happens if you use argon lasers? What happens if you use argon lasers instead of helium neon?
Helium. Helium.
Lasers instead of helium neon. Now, I notice you're using titanium. Did you give any consideration to carbon nanotubes? They're lighter, cheaper, and have twice the tensile strength.
Tensile. Tensile.
They're lighter, cheaper, and have twice the tensile strength. Your mother that says, I love you, boobala. But neither of those is a cogent argument.
Cogent. Cogent.
But neither of those is a cogent argument. But neither of those is a cogent argument for titanium over nanotubes.
Titanium. Titanium.
Argument for titanium over nanotubes.
What?
You know, biology. The one thing that can completely derail.
derail, derail,
The one thing that can completely derail.
Join us here at the university.
Of course he has. The Oracle told us.
oracle, oracle,
The Oracle told us.
Please go away.
Said Pharaoh to Moses.
Pharaoh, Pharaoh,
Said Pharaoh to Moses.
How about that one?
I know the type. Cheerleader, student council, goes out with the jocks, won't even...
jock, jock,
Cheerleader, student council, goes out with the jocks, won't even look at anybody in the gifted program. And if, after 2 years of begging, she does agree to go out with you, it turns out to be a setup and you're in the
back seat, back seat,
Turns out to be a setup and you're in the back.
Sure. Who wants to spend a couple years doing her homework while she drinks herself into a stupor with non-fat white Russians?
stupor, stupor,
Up into a stupor with non-fat white Russians. Up into a stupor with non-fat white Russians. You're the one holding her head out of the toilet while she's puking into
puke, puke,
out of the toilet while she's puking into.
How about her?
Interesting, kind of pretty. Little chubby, so probably low self-esteem.
chubby, chubby,
Little chubby, so probably low self-esteem.
All right, why don't we do it your way then? We'll arrange for this girl to move in across the hall from Dennis so he can pathetically moon over her for months on end.
pathetically, pathetically,
So he can pathetically moon over her for months on end.
Welcome, Dennis Kim.
Mr. Kim was not only the valedictorian at Stanford University, he is
valedictorian, valedictorian,
was not only the valedictorian at Stanford University, he is also
Just till the cyborgs rise up.
And now, without any further ado,
ado, ado,
and now, without any further ado,
Honored daughters. While Mr. Kim, by virtue of his youth and naivete, has...
Naivete. Naivete.
By virtue of his youth and naivete, has... Honored daughters. While Mr. Kim, by virtue of his youth and naivete, has fallen prey to the inexplicable need for
inexplicable, inexplicable,
has fallen prey to the inexplicable need for has fallen prey to the inexplicable need for human contact. Let me step in and assure you that my research will go on uninterrupted.
uninterrupted, uninterrupted,
And assure you that my research will go on uninterrupted. And assure you that my research will go on uninterrupted. And that social relationships will continue to baffle and
baffle, baffle,
and that social relationships will continue to baffle and assure you that my research will go on uninterrupted. And that social relationships will continue to baffle and repulse me.
repulse, repulse,
And repulse me.
A model rocket in the park.
I don't know if the ticket was so much for the launch as it was for you telling the police.
frisk, frisk,
As it was for you telling the police.